Welcome, welcome. This is Lisa Nickel, your host of the Sacred and Rude podcast. This episode is called Feel Your Anger for Greater Joy. And that might sound a little insane, but let me explain. Okay, so just a little quick backstory. The podcast, I think this is episode 38. And the highest ranking episodes that I've done over the last 38 have all had a topic around joy or happiness. And so I thought that was really fascinating because there's a hunger, I think, out there, even with, clients and people I speak with and with the podcast, that, people are really looking for something different and to feel more meaning, to feel happier, to feel more joy, and to just not feel like it's just so much of a slog all the time, let's say. And so this episode is for all those people, and anyone else who may just be curious about what I'm even talking about. But feel your anger for greater joy. A few months back in the Wellspring Goddess Collective, which is a membership that I run, we did a month on joy. We do a month on joy every year. And one of the meditations that we did was on the fact that you need to feel your anger. You need to feel the, quote unquote bad feelings to really be able to get into the depth of the joy that you can experience in this life. And so if you are unconsciously or consciously kind of distracting yourself or dodging, some feelings, just kicking them under the rug a little bit when you do notice them there in the corner, when you are sort of blocking that experience, that feeling or feelings, you also are blocking a whole bunch of other feelings that you probably actually want to feel or want to feel in their full breadth. And so this episode is just highlighting that you can't just be someone who, only feels joy, only wants to feel the good feelings, blocks all the other feelings, or, mind sets your way through just like, da, 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 everything is wonderful. I'm grateful for everything. And maybe for sure at some point, maybe you get to that point, but you need to go through a whole lot of feelings before you can get there and really, truly mean it and not just be, bypassing the feelings that you don't feel comfortable feeling. So I just want to, put my coach hat on and really put a fine point on the fact that all feelings are good feelings. Like, they're all serving you. They're all things you can learn from. They're all ways to get to the next version of you, to improve, to unlayer the onion there of yourself and to really get to the crux of it and to really become a fully embodied soul, authentic you. You gotta feel it all. You can't be like, I am my fully authentic self except for that thing over there or that one time over there, or my childhood, like whatever you have that it's not over, it's not fun to go through anger or sadness or grief or shame. But it's so rewarding on the other side of it because it's freeing. It frees you. It gives you your power back. It like I have this saying when we're, sometimes when we're beginning a meditation, where we spend a few minutes and we literally, it's like we call our power back from all times and places. And there is so many times and places that we have our little cords of energetic connection to, and it really downgrades our brilliance and the shine that we inherently are here to express. And so if you're feeling angry about something, get it out. Like, talk, scream, yell, rage dance, beat a pillow, whatever you need to do, journal and burn it so that you have some fire going. That's very therapeutic, I find. And, maybe my all-time personal favorite is like smashing dishes on a brick wall or whatever kind of wall or something with a bat even would work. Do whatever works, obviously, as long as you're not hurting others. But whatever moves the energy. Exercise, even like rage exercise, I don't know. That is a thing, actually, I do. I've done that before. Just anything that moves the energy, anything that gets you where it's like the block is unblocked and it's starting to come through. And then, of course, give yourself time. Your anger from, anything. Some stuff may be more minor and, maybe a good cry for an hour and you're a new woman. But some of the stuff that we've been holding, since childhood needs a good long while. So just let it arise and work with it, dance with it, do whatever you feel called to do to move it through you, and just keep doing that, not pushing it back down and saying, no, not now, I don't have time for that, whatever. It's the same with grief. If you're mourning the loss of someone that you loved, you are not, it's not recommended to just stuff it down and move on with your life. Like, you need to go with the flow of the grief feelings and allow them and just be with them. And for however long it takes, there's no real time limit. And same with anger, same with anything. Just allow it. And even the simple act of allowing opens it up differently. You're not fighting against it. You're just there with it and witnessing it. And there's no shame. There's no dodging it. There's no putting it away in a box. There's just like, yep, okay, here I am. This is how I'm feeling right now. How can I work with this? And so, yeah, you can use my suggestions, or I feel completely free to do whatever is calling you, because you are the boss of yourself. You are the one that knows yourself better than anyone. And so just do not be externally influenced to the degree which you override your intuition, please, because your intuition is your ultimate director or compass. And so, yeah, so to feel we do also have a tendency to, we feel happy, we feel joy, we feel like, woohoo, we're on top of the world. And then immediately it's like, on to the next thing, or, oh my God, is something terrible going to happen? Because that was too good to be true. And so we really want to also practice allowing the joy in and just going with it and feeling that feeling for as long as it's there for. And so the practice is the same no matter what the feeling. And you'll begin to deepen your experience with joy, with gratitude, and then also with anger. Like, you won't be scared to feel it because you're worried that you're going to kind of get pulled under an undertow and never come out. You'll trust the process. Nothing is forever. And so the feelings come, the feelings go. If you do have a feeling that seems to be just lingering and lingering, depending on how you feel about it, therapy's very effective. Maybe some coaching, like some sort of professional might need to just pull that feeling a little further out of you. And it might be easier to do that with somebody that is a professional and not just yourself. But for most things, the highs and the lows, like we cannot just allow ourselves to be open to them and trusting the process and trusting that if we feel them, if we go through it, then we'll come right back out of it. Literally the fastest way through is straight. Just get right in there, run towards it, which of course may not be convenient. It probably is never going to be convenient because it's not the same to, we are socialized not to share or have the quote unquote bad feelings take up space. It's always better to just put a smile on, act like nothing's happening. And so hopefully everyone, you can cultivate friendships and familiar relationships that are just, you're able to share the good, the bad, and the ugly and be real with people, because what the hell else are we here for if we're not here to be real with people? So yeah, allow the good, the bad, and everything, and you will find that you start to have a greater capacity for all of it. And best of all, joy, happiness, gratitude. Like you can hold those real good feelings longer and experience them truly as well, because you're getting into the habit and the routine of experiencing all your feelings fully, which just automatically, the outcome of that is that you then feel more of everything. And the joy and the happiness and gratitude are the ones that you can really, are just like, oh, this is so freaking awesome. And then when you have the anger, the sadness, the rage, whatever, you can just, it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. I know it's not going to last forever. I'm here for it. And that'll just get you through so much easier. I truly believe that we are, at the most basic level, we are here to be clear channels of love and joy. And we just cannot be that clear if we are holding and clenching and just energetically blocking our energetic experiences. And so the more we can let things flow through, let things fly by, we experience it, we don't hold on to it, we don't try and save it for a rainy day, we try and, or leave it and, okay, I'm putting that on the rug for later. We just want like a clear channel, like I picture us as an empty vessel, like in and out. And you just want to have the energy kind of constantly like flowing through. And so you have universal energy that's, basically animating your entire body. Like it's your soul, right? Your soul comes from the universe. And so we're each a little part of, the universe, God, source, whatever you'd like to, however you'd like to refer to that. But the channel, like the channel we have, each personally, we have our own channel, and that channel is not clear if we have, stuckness, if we have feelings of anger and we're holding on to something that's happened in the past, and we're basically like, right, it's like it happened yesterday because we have just repeated it and we've listened to it in our minds, we've watched it in our mind's eye 1,000 times. It's as if it literally just happened. And we need to be able to speak and acknowledge our feelings, resolve them, and let it go, and let it go. And that will allow our more natural state, which, I mean, universal energy is love at its essence. And so could you imagine a world where people were truly clear vessels of love? How decision making would be different, how your life would be different, how relationships would be different, how the entire world would be set up totally differently. And so it starts just one person at a time. And we don't need everyone in the world to get on board. We just need a tipping point, and it'll naturally transform. And so this is just another example of a small way that we can really, by healing and looking at ourselves and just really trying to allow our truest version to be out in the world, to be shown out in the world, how that can be so healing and so transformative to people we interact with, and therefore our community, and therefore the world. It really is going to be a ground up transformation. It certainly isn't going to be the freaking world leaders that make anything happen that's any kind of sustainable change, because that seems to be a little bit chaotic right now, to say the least. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say on this topic. I think I just, in summary, feeling your anger will allow you to feel greater joy. And greater joy is our birthright. It is our basic, like our neutral zone. If you want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, I can't quite think of it. It's totally escaped me. It's like, if you're thinking, I guess here's one I'll try on. If you're, thinking of the highs and the lows that we've been talking about in the, it is like neutral in a car. It's like you're not driving, you're not going in reverse, you're not up, you're not down, you're just sort of like the neutral zone, where it's like that's your happy medium, that's your homeostasis. That is like pure love. And so then you can increase that by, experiencing joy, happiness, meaning, all those things, gratitude. Or you can reduce that and you can feel, I don't even think it's reduce that. It's just not, it's a little like more of a human crunchy kind of, those feelings are a little more human and crunchy. The anger, the shame, the regret, the sadness, they're feelings that are a little more dense, let's say. And so we are spirits, we're energy, we're in bodies, but like our timeless essence is not of our body. And so that lightness, that energetic lightness is our natural and our timeless, our eternal way of being. And being in a body can sometimes feel heavy, literally. And so those emotions are sort of more dense. Like they're not something that your soul is gonna experience when it's just a soul again. And so to really just be mindful of that, to allow yourself the full width of your feelings, and to even, with people that you know and love, encourage that, pay attention to how you speak to people about their feelings, and to really not discount any feeling, to really allow it to be expressed. And the person can speak it, the person can feel it, and then get on to the next thing. And it doesn't have to be something that's held on to. Nothing needs to be held on to in the end. And so the more we can get into the practice of feeling the feelings, figuring out, what we need to learn, what could we do different, what could we forgive, maybe, depending on whatever the situation is. And then it's over, like it's done. No holding on anymore. There's some kind of, I think it's a Chinese proverb that goes like this. It's pretty, I think you probably all heard of it. It's pretty popular or famous. But there's two monks. I'm not even sure if I remember the whole thing. I'll tell you the story, but I'm not guaranteeing that it's actually totally accurate. There's two monks. I think they come up to a stream, somebody's there, and they need help across the river or stream, whatever it is. It must be the stream, because the river would be kind of pretty big. And so one of the monks carries the person on their back across the river. And they put the person down, they keep walking. And I think, here, just let me do a quick check here. Okay, I got it. Okay, so the two monks, they come across the stream, and there's a woman on the stream. And I guess if you're a monk, you're not supposed to actually touch a woman. And so she was looking to get to the other side, and one of the monks picked her up and helped her across the river, and then placed her on the other side of the stream or the river, whatever it is. And the two monks continued on their journey. And the younger monk, or the other monk who hadn't carried the woman across, was kind of couldn't believe that the other monk had done that. And it seemed very, it was a rule they had, and he sort of went right against that rule. So that monk sort of, didn't say anything and just kind of like played it over and over and over again in his head. And a couple hours passed, and then finally the younger monk couldn't keep his silence anymore, and he said, as monks, we're not permitted to touch a woman. How could you then carry that woman on your shoulders? And the older monk looked at him and replied, brother, I set her down on the other side of the river. Why are you still carrying her? And so this I love so much, because it really highlights the way that we love to put meaning on things, so much so that we tell ourselves stories, we let it play and play and play and play in our mind until we're just sort of all wrangled up about something. And so this is a really great example of the practice that we need to each get into, where we can, something can go wrong, something can go right. But either way, we're not creating all these stories in our minds about it. What are we telling ourselves about what happened compared to what actually happened? Even if we feel joy, it can get kind of warped in the sense that we, depending on, as an example, it could be something that happens at work, and your boss thought you did a great job, or you won an award or something, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm so great, I'm so amazing, and all this stuff. And it is very rewarding to feel like your work has gotten recognized by your peers and that sort of thing, but to be always humble about it, to not, because really it doesn't, it's not, it doesn't make your flame shine any brighter, if you know what I mean. Blowing other people's flames out doesn't make yours shine brighter. doing something and, being rewarded for it in the material world doesn't make your flame shine brighter either. Like, everybody's flame's the same. And so to just recognize that whether you're thinking about it on the joy end of the spectrum or the anger and grief end of the spectrum, it's not who you are. It's just like a passing weather. And nothing is forever. And so it comes and goes. Allow it to come and go. Allow it to come and go. And just recognize when you're starting to tell yourself a story about something that is not actually serving you in your highest good. And then stop it. Stop it. Listen to this episode and remember, to just let it go. And you can let it go by the examples I gave you already, especially if it's anger. There's lots of ways to stomp out anger, cry, scream, rage dance, rage exercise, beat a pillow, journal and burn shit so that, like, fire is super therapeutic, I find, for releasing. And seriously, smashing stuff is very, very therapeutic. There's actually, in Ottawa, there's, I don't know if it's still around, but I never did ever go to it, but they did open, basically it's like a room. You rent a room for an hour and they'll set up whatever you want and you smash everything, and then you just get to leave, so you don't even have to clean it up, which is pretty wicked. Anyways, and then feel joy. Feel your joy, feel your happiness, feel serenity, feel peace, and just breathe it in and let it percolate through your system. And just like, oh, okay, this is fantastic. And just be with it as well and allow it to be there, and then allow it to leave whenever it's leaving. And you can certainly, certainly aim to be there more than you are potentially angry or potentially sad and all that. But it's not that one is better than the other or that they should be traded. Your life is going to have a wide variety of feelings because you're going to have a wide variety of experiences, and you're just up for the adventure. And so just be present with what is right in front of you, or is right in your body. You can feel how your body's feeling and just be with it. So the moral of the whole story, the whole podcast, really is to just be open and accepting of your feelings, of your wherever you are on your continuum, and to recognize that clear channel that we each are is only possible when we allow things to pass through. And so if you do feel yourself holding, clenching, blocking any of that stuff, start looking into how you can move it through the system. And, if you need professional help, then just get it done. Go to it. There is also lots of free resources that you can access. I'm not sure about everyone's community, but there is certainly some around. And so I invite you to be your biggest advocate. And if you need help, if you need some ear to listen, if you need support of any sort, to reach out and to reach out to your friends, reach out to your community, reach out to anyone you can think of to allow yourself to continue to evolve and to continue that spiral motion upwards to your highest and truest self. All right, so that is today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a 5-star review or any kind of review. That would be awesome because the podcast gets more. I guess it moves further into the interwebs with more likes and shares and comments. And then if you have a friend, if you have someone in mind who you think might like this episode, please share it. That would be really appreciated as well, because again, it just helps spread the word. All right, and I will see you next time. Have a beautiful day. Take care.